Alright, this is the Diablo 3 beta. I wanted to do a first impressions of a game I've been waiting 10 years for, 12 years for, a good decade.
Probably.
I've played the hell out of this beta, so this is hardly a first impressions, but let's just get right into it, and I'll kind of talk about a lot of the smaller details after I show off a little bit of the gameplay. I'm going to make a new hero. As you can see, I've completely maxed out the beta. I've maxed out every class. I've got every achievement. So I'm just going to create a new character from level 1 and a hardcore character. I want to do a Demon Hunter. Definitely my favorite class of all the available classes so far. What's a good name for an archer? Archer? Sterling? How about Sterling?
How about Mallory?
Duchess. So this is a hardcore character. I haven't done this in the beta yet, actually. This is the only thing I haven't done, which is hardcore characters. You die and you're done. But I've played enough of this that I'm confident that I'm going to get through this whole thing without dying. So, the Diablo 3 it's got a lot of similarities to Diablo 2, but it's got a lot of... If you played the hell out of Diablo 2 like I did, there are a lot of things about this game that you'll absolutely recognize from the previous games. The game, it starts off with, you have 5 different classes you can choose from. It's got normal, nightmare, hell, and then a 4th difficulty that's unlockable in this game, which is, I scream about that in every other game I've ever played, unlockable difficulties, but like Diablo manages to pull it off in an interesting way.
How's that?
Well, like, it gets so much harder the further you get into the game. So now that I've shown a little bit of the gameplay, how do I want to do this? Alright, so some of the interesting things about this game is it has achievements built into it. It shows you, overall achievements earned. It'll have, like, campaign, Act 1. It'll have a bunch of different, events through Act 1 that you have to complete. And some of them you can miss if you're just doing the Path of Least Resistance, like this Jar of Souls achievement right here. It took me a little digging to find that one. Mm-hmm. It's got cooperative achievements, like, resurrect each of the classes while playing, challenges, kill 20 monsters in one hit. That was actually one of the last achievements that I got. General ones, like level up, like max out every class, stuff like that.
Yeah, it looks pretty similar to StarCraft.
Yes, very similar to StarCraft. One thing I want to point out, if you've played this beta or you've watched some other videos, some settings that I would recommend changing. Actually, I'm going to turn that back. Show advanced tooltips is absolutely one you want to turn on. And some of the damage number ones and health bar numbers I like having on as well. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit more, if you're really into the game and you want to kind of see the numbers that are going on, the calculations behind the scene. But specifically this advanced tooltips thing, it gives you a lot more information about how some of the different skills work. Okay. And how they're presented to you. And some of the descriptions are almost deceptive if you don't have this on. They do a very poor job of describing how the skills work. So you really need to turn the advanced tooltips on. So one of the major changes in Diablo 3 to Diablo 2 is how the skills work. So in Diablo 2, every time you went up a level, you got 1 skill point and then 5 stat points. Mm-hmm. And what that did is it made it very important to plan out your character from level 1. Because you could easily waste skill points and stuff that didn't matter. And if you wanted to have the best character or survive even in hell difficulty, you had to plan your points out. Mm-hmm. Well, like, in Skyrim, there's different builds for different characters. But, in hell on Lord of Destruction, it was really hard if you were just kind of like winging it. But the way this works is you have 6 different skills and 3 passive skills, and they all unlock at different levels. So you choose one primary skill. The default one is the Hungering Arrow, and it's based off of your base weapon damage. And then at level 6, you get a skill rune that can kind of modify the Hungering Arrow. So you can't misplace any skill points at all in Diablo 3. And there's no stat points either.
So do you like that? You think that's an improvement?
It makes it impossible to fuck up, which I think is good long term, because I only have... So the way it worked in like Diablo 2 is... So for example, the way it worked before is it had a lot more depth to it. So the sorceress in Diablo 2, how she was built is she had 3 different trees. She had the fire, the lightning, and the ice tree. And you could build a level 99 character, even though that was a very hard level to get to, each one of those 3 different ways. And they all, all 3 of those people could fight together. And it took a lot of time to build each one of those, depending on like how you preferred to play.
Right.
And you would build like a high level lightning sorceress just for taking out, one very specific part of the game, like the cow level for the ice sorceress, I think it was. Anyway, but with this, you can really customize all your different abilities at any point in the game to match the situation.
So that sounds better.
It's interesting, and I'm curious to see how it's going to play out long term, because it's very, very different. But what that does is it puts a huge emphasis on the importance of the equipment that you have and that you get in the game. So it's very similar equipment to Diablo 2, but there is an auction house where you can spend real money. So not only like the skills, how the skills are built puts all this emphasis on the store, and now the store you can spend real money on. So it's kind of like, are they doing this because it's better, or are they doing this to get people to spend money on the store because items are so much more important? So I don't know. There's only a max level of 13 in the beta, so I'm really interested to see how it's going to play out eventually. Let's see. The quests work a little bit different, and I'll get into that later. One interesting thing is they have the stash now, which is a community stash between your characters. So the way it worked in Diablo 2 is like you would have a character, you'd have to go into a game and either give your expensive items that are hard to find to someone you trust, and then have them give it to your other character, or go into a public game, find a hidden corner, drop your item, hope to God that nobody finds it, and then run over there, like quickly switch characters, go back, and then pick up the item with the new character. So now it's just a community stash, and you can
That's nice.
By default it's only 14 slots, and you can buy more rows of slots for 10,000 gold, and then you can buy new tabs for 100,000 more gold after you buy all of them. So, you have a lot of room to store items and stuff. And gold is actually extremely valuable in this game. Gold meant practically nothing in Diablo 2, but it actually has value in this game now, which I think is a very good change. You can spend this in-game gold that you find on items in the auction house as well. So you don't have to spend real money on the auction house, but it seems like when you post an item to the auction house, you can choose whether it's a real money auction or a fake money auction.
Can you make money? Can you make real money?
I think so. So that's going to kick the addiction level of this game up even higher.
If you could make money off this game,
yes,
that would be insane.
Yes. So,
wow, that's something the gaming industry
Blizzard
hasn't
makes money
tapped
too because
into.
they take a commission on every transaction.
Even if they did the Apple like 30%.
So I went up to level 2 and I unlocked my secondary ability, which is this Impale ability. And so, one other really interesting thing about this, and I'm going to be doing videos for going into much more specific detail about a lot of these new aspects, is every class has their own mana bar, I guess is the best way to look at it. So every health has every class has life, but in Diablo 2, every class just had a mana bar, and every skill used mana. In Diablo 3, only the wizard has traditional mana. The way that what the fuck is the name of this class? Not the witch doctor. What the hell's the name of my class? Demon Hunter.
Oh,
Demon Hunter.
What's hardcore? That's not a class. That's a...
No, that's like a mode. That means the hardcore character.
Like a difficulty.
It's like a difficulty.
Okay.
Well, it's a tweak on the difficulty because if I die, I'm dead. That's what hardcore means.
All right.
Anyway, so the witch or the demon hunter, they have, and I don't even have any skills that use discipline yet. But the way it works is discipline just regenerates slowly over time, and that's basically the demon hunter's mana. But the demon hunter also has hatred, which is a thing that you can. So like this impale ability costs 25 hatred, and then it slowly regenerates on its own. But then shooting the arrow makes it regenerate faster. So you can make it build up really quick to use your abilities that generate a lot of hatred.
That's fun.
Yeah, and every class has their own unique system built into it. Like the barbarian has a thing that's very similar to hatred, but he doesn't have the discipline thing. He has, I don't know, rage, I think it's called, where, if he does an attack with his fists, he builds the rage meter, but it doesn't regenerate on its own. And then he can use his rage and go nuts. So I don't know. There's a lot of different things, and I'll make different videos about that. But I'm just gonna play through the whole beta right now. What the hell am I doing? I gotta talk to her again.
How much of this is story? This game.
So that's one of the things that was so weird about Diablo is when it came down to it, you're just repeating the same quests over and over and over. And it has a somewhat similar system in this game where you're going to be repeating quests and kind of grinding through levels to get a little bit higher a lot. And I don't know if
More or less story than StarCraft campaign.
It's as much story as you want it to be.
This is?
Yes. So, you can completely ignore the story and just kind of follow the waypoints on the map. Or you can really get into it and learn a lot of different things. I don't know. I mean, it's not a very story-focused game. It's very minimal. Should I make this a public game? Nah, I don't think I want to do that, because a lot of times... So one other new thing in this is if you create a game on your own, you can open the game to the public, which just lets anybody join randomly. And they have a pretty good matchmaking system so that you will get matched up with people of a similar level. And there's no PvP in this game, so because it's hardcore, I'm not just going to get killed by random assholes randomly. Game has, like usual, lots of side dungeons and stuff. I'll do this little musty cellar, and they usually have an interesting item or two, or a little mini boss that makes it worth kind of exploring these side areas. But that achievement that I was mentioning before, that you can miss pretty easily, they have to kind of explore, that's in one of these side dungeons. Now, I'm not going to explore all the side dungeons in this playthrough just because it would double or triple the length of the... Oh, yeah, there's nothing interesting down here. That's unfortunate. That's the kind of risk-reward in this game. You explore, sometimes you find something awesome. Explore, sometimes you don't.
That's how they get you to keep pressing the pellet button.
Yes, exactly.
Now, how about picking up loot off bodies? Is it a pain, or is it just auto?
Gold picks up automatically, which is a very, very good change that they made in this game. That was not the case in Diablo 2. So that item right there is white. That's not worth picking up. Items sell for very little money in this, unless it's magic. The gray one, if it's gray, it's damaged or broken or even worse than just the basic white one. So neither of them are worth picking up, even though maybe I should just because I have no items. But whatever, I'll find good stuff eventually. And it's pretty easy early on in the game. So many things to talk about. Let's look at my notes. It has the typical difficulty scaling that was in Diablo 2. If you enemies get significantly stronger the more people are in the game.
Okay.
So it encourages you to party up and play with other people that are in your game and not just kind of go out and do your own thing. But you get
how many people per game?
I'm not sure, honestly. I feel like I've had games that are more than 4 people, but that doesn't happen too often, really. It also has these bonus objectives too, so it's kind of MMO-ish, where you can do these side things. And in this beta, all the bonus objectives have been very easy to find. Mm-hmm. But I would imagine that later on in the game, that they're going to be a little bit more of a challenge and have a little bit more of a reward.
Diablo's evil still lingers here.
But Deckard Cain's in this. I'm going to be rescuing him in a little bit. There we go. There's a mini boss. It's got potions, but not in the same way that they were attached to your belt in Diablo 2. Now they have kind of a cooldown, and I got 5. You can just hit Q. In Diablo 2, there was you had a belt, and different belts could hold different amounts of potions. You could hold 16 potions if you had the best one, and there was no cooldown. In this, if you use a potion, I'm already at full health, so I can't use it, but there's I think a 30-second cooldown or something like that before you can use the next potion. So you can't just pound a bunch of potions and then live through whatever boss you were fighting. So it seems like it's going to be quite a bit more challenging late game than Diablo 2 was. But that's just me completely speculating. A couple other interesting things that I've noticed. So in Diablo 2, and I'm speaking to the very hardcore people right now, the people who played the shit out of it like I did. What you would do is basically everybody had one character that was a magic find character. And what that meant was you would have you would build a character, most likely a sorceress, whose sole job was to wear items that increased your percentage chance of finding good items. And the reason the sorceress was good for that was because none of her abilities were dependent on the items that, or the damage that her weapon provided. But in this, the sorceress will have to have a staff, and all of her skills, they're based off of that weapon damage. So, small things like that. It seems like almost any class is going to be good for finding magic items and, really stacking magic find items than just one class was before. And especially because the sorceress had the teleport in the previous game, which she does not this time through. What are your questions about this? As someone who's never played a Diablo game before.
Oh man, I don't know.
Why should you play it?
Yeah.
Maybe. Imagine Skyrim, but you're trading the items you find with people.
Okay, I'm sold.
You're sold? Okay. That's, the store, the auction house is going to be what gets me insanely addicted to this game, quite frankly. The economy and going into trade chat rooms and forums and stuff like that and setting up trades for expensive items and kind of learning the value of good items and the kind of conversion rates and stuff. Like people kind of had to create their own common currency in Diablo 2, and that was typically like an item called an SOJ, the Stone of Jordan. So like the super good items would be worth a couple of this one ring, and an item below that would, that was the common currency.
Wow.
But now it's like everything's gold.
Yeah.
And gold actually has value, so it's completely changed. And it's going to be much easier, I think, for people who don't want to go into that super hardcore part of it and like trading forums and figure out like what the value of something is worth.
Right.
And that's where it gets super insanely addicting, and it becomes fun to grind the game because
you just want to find cool
because
shit.
like if you find an item that's like fucking awesome, you're like, oh my god, I can sell this item for something really, like, for a lot of money, and then I can spend that money on making my like on an awesome bow or a sweet piece of armor. Like, oh, the bow that I have kind of sucks. Money. Or sell it for real money, which is fucking mind blowing. Like I still haven't wrapped my head around that. The real money isn't in the beta, but it's not active in the beta. But they make it very clear. Like, there's a button that lets you change the currency that you're trading in, and it tells you either how much gold you have or how much USD you have, and like, and it's like different parts of the store almost. So that is what I can already tell, and I've spent my gold on the auction house. It's kind of nuts. Like, it's It's hard for me to even put into words how much I'm looking forward to the full game.
I need more hatred to do that.
So, of all the classes I forgot these guys have those fucking little worms that burst out of their belly. Of all the classes I've played so far, this is my favorite. Mainly because of what I was doing right there. You kind of saw that I was, kind of kiting them and like taking a step back and then shooting and just running away. And that just makes it much more interesting and like active than a lot of the other classes, which is why I like it.
Are any of the guys melee?
Yes, the barbarian's melee and the monk is melee. So if you want to just be a guy that just runs up and just punches the shit out of stuff, you can absolutely do that. But I like these classes that are, whoa, what's going on here? That have a little bit more active, running around, kind of kiting them, much more, much more position oriented than tactical position oriented than just running up and punching them until they die.
Right.
But that's just my own personal playstyle.
You always pick range.
I always pick range in any game. Yeah, exactly. Oh, one other really interesting thing in this game is they've taken... Oh, shit. I don't want to die here. Is that they've taken a very MMO-esque approach to how loot works in this game. Meaning, when items drop from an enemy... Like, if I was playing with someone else right now, I would be the only person that sees that 18 and 13 gold on the ground, or any other items that anybody drops. In Diablo 2, you could cheat pretty easily, and not only have map hacks, but use items called grabbers, so that, and you can customize them. So like that adventuring sash, I think that's the first magic item I found in this game. So I'm going to equip that. I would be the only person that could see that. But in Diablo 2, if a super valuable item dropped, it was the first person to click it. So, even though the sorceress was really good at finding stuff, if you're playing with other people, the person who's on the front line who kills the boss and is toe-to-toe with the boss is right next to the boss when he drops and the bosses have the highest probability of dropping something really good. So you would want to be really close to that boss when the boss dies. So a really good sorceress is
rushes it.
Yeah, everybody as soon as the boss gets really low on health, everybody's not attacking and waiting for someone else to take the final hit so that they're in the best possible position to click the really good item.
Annoying.
Yeah, but they've completely changed how that works. I would like it. I would love it to be. So the only other MMO I've played is Star Wars: The Old Republic, but oh shit. And the way that worked was it was basically if a good item dropped, everybody on the team would click want or need. And basically what need meant is that if you and somebody else in your party of, 8, 10 people clicked need, then you would basically have a dice roll to see who would get that item. Meaning it was completely up to luck at that point. But if you clicked want, then you would kind of seed that
the odds.
The odds. No. You wouldn't even be in the lottery to get that item.
But you get better odds next time or something?
No. It's completely if you're being super, super selfish and playing with people, just random people, you would click want every single time.
Or need.
Or need, sorry. Yes, you would click need every single time for all the good items. But if you were playing with, friends and people who were working on a character that, let's say a lightsaber dropped in Star Wars: The Old Republic, and my character had no need for a lightsaber because he used sniper rifles. Mm-hmm. Then I would click. I don't need it. I want it, but I don't need it. And then the other people would fight over who wants it. But this, you don't even see what other people drop, and I would much prefer it if I could have, I'd like to see what other
but just
people...
not be able to pick it up?
Yeah, and the strange thing is, too, is sometimes, I'll kind of fork off from what other people on my team are doing for just a minute, and then I'll, kind of regroup with them, and I'll see, a bunch of items for me have already fallen on the ground, even though I did not contribute at all to...
the fight.
So I can very easily see a good item dropping in someone else's battle for me, but I had no idea that existed, and I just never see it. But if someone on my team said, yo, you got the best item in the game that just dropped over here in this corner, but you're not with us, then
get it.
Come fucking get it. But that doesn't happen at all now.
Yeah.
Only my items show up on the screen. But I would really like to see, even though I can't pick up other items for other people, or maybe a timer, so that if I'm on my own, I'm killing a boss, and then an item for someone who's not helping drops, there's a 1 minute window where I'm just sitting there, not saying a goddamn thing. Okay, don't come this way. The best item in the game is here, but your clock is winding down, so. Be super selfish that way. But if they were there helping out the fight, then they would pick up the item right away.
I see what you're saying.
And, I'm spending all this time talking about...
something that doesn't exist.
Well, no, I'm about items, because that's what the game is going to come down to. Because there is no skill planning at all, it's going to be very item-focused. And the fight for items and currency acquisition is going to be huge. Absolutely huge in this game. So I'm really interested to see how a lot of these intricate things are going to play out. If there's going to be any sort of clan support so that people can, pool their money together and, have a bank for... Oh, that'd be fucking crazy. You have a bank, and the banker, just makes money off of, things that are in games like EVE Online, where, people can pool their money together and they gain interest, but the banker, the guy in charge, who plays the most, theoretically, or the smartest, the most manipulative, who can manipulate all these people into putting their money into his bank, he's the one making the most money off of all these people.
What if you could just be a banker? What if there was enough like work for you to do to just not even play the game. You're just a banker.
I'm just looking at Diablo 3 spreadsheets.
Yeah, like there's enough work and there's enough people who need your services. You could just be a banker.
The way StarCraft is, I was kind of not really sure how popular StarCraft 2 was going to be. Because it came out so long after StarCraft 1, and I knew it was, still hugely popular in Korea, but in the competitive scene, but that doesn't mean anything in America. StarCraft 2 is like one of the biggest games in the world right now.
Yeah.
So it's like, how big is Diablo 3 going to be? Because you could easily make, I don't know about easily, but you could make a lot of money off of Diablo 2, or Diablo 3. People made money off Diablo 2, like selling their items, selling characters, selling leveling up services and stuff like that on like eBay and third-party Diablo items websites. Like, you could make money playing Diablo 2. Like, if you were running your own third-party website and, doing very questionable things in terms of what was allowed under the terms of services. So let's see, the short bow. Ooh, that doubled my damage. That is good to have. So yeah, this item gives me a 4% chance of finding magical items. So that's pretty good. Or this other pair of boots gives me 4% movement speed, but I think I'd rather get a very, very small chance of finding better magic items. Let's see. Deckard Cain. Stay a little while and listen. Let's see, so I'm getting, I think I got like 1 or 2 more quests. Yeah, probably got another half an hour if I just mainline these quests. Alright, let's take a quick break. Alright, we're back. There's 2 other major item changes and major kind of things that are different from Diablo 2. In Diablo 2, there was these gems that you could use, and like 3 chip gems would make a flawed gem, and 3 flawed gems would make a normal gem, and then 3 normal gems would make a flawless gem, and then 3 of those would make a perfect gem. Mm-hmm. And that system is back in this. Well, first of all, there's no gems at all in the beta, but on their website they have some details about it. As you can tell, I've even been reading up on the website, like fucking details about items and shit. They basically double that whole chain, maybe even more than that. Like there's, I think, 9 more levels of 3 to 1 level up, 3 to 1 level up. And gems didn't seem to have they weren't super helpful, and they're very easy to find in Diablo 2. Mm-hmm. But because there's such a larger scale of gems that you can find, it seems like their value is going to be going up, and their importance will be going up in this game. And like gems were items that you could put into sockets in different items that would give them special attributes. So like a sapphire, a perfect sapphire, it would add a little bit of cold damage to your weapon so that it slows down enemies.
That's cool.
Things like that. But there's also no Heraldric... Oh, I can't click the guy yet because I'm on hardcore. There's no Heraldric cube, or I shouldn't say there isn't one yet, but I would imagine that that's not in the game anymore. But this guy right here, there are artisans in this game. And you can pay the artisans to craft items for you. And you can also... yeah. I'll get into that when I unlock him. But it seems like there's going to be a very interesting crafting system in the game that has a lot of kind of gambling elements built into it. But I'll get into that in a little bit.
What's the story?
The story is get items so you can sell it on the store and make money. I have no fucking clue what the story is. I've played through Diablo 2 hundreds of times. Like, I've beaten the final boss in Diablo 2 and Lord of Destruction like so many thousands of times that I can't even... I'd be embarrassed to know how many times I did it.
So is it like kill the guys from hell?
Yes, it's like Diablo is back on Earth, and I don't know.
El Diablo.
Yep.
So this is a Spanish game.
Yes, Blizzard. Or there's no Z in Spanish.
Blizzardo.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there's a Z.
In Spanish?
Isn't there's got to be.
Well, then what level letter's not in their alphabet?
I think they have more letters, if anything.
No, they do, but what letter is not in their alphabet? That's whatever.
know.
Anyway, so got a little mini boss here. Well, leave me alone, bitch.
How do you spell cerveza?
Not enough hatred.
Good point.
I couldn't have done this. I can find his tomb.
Zeta. Isn't that how you say Z?
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
You see my fool up
Yes.
out there. Tell him to get
You can tell we're experts in
In Spanish?
Espanol.
Oh, yeah.
We're experts in everything. I majored in Norse mythology.
You majored in bullshit, aka a business degree.
Yeah, I pretend I know something about everything.
Oh, yeah. It's just confidence, man. Pretending you got the confidence to do whatever it is. Alright, got a new skill. So, I'm not level 6 yet, so I unlocked a new secondary thing. And, like, this is where it differs a lot in terms of the moment-to-moment gameplay from Diablo 1. Is that I have these two secondary right-click skills now, and rapid fire is better, but for other classes, there'll be situations where, you know, you'll want to switch quickly between them, but there's like a 5-second cooldown when you switch, so you can't just like...
Need more time.
Oh,
You can't just do it, right? And in Diablo 2, there was, you know, you'd bring up the little left and right click menus, and you could hit F1 on the different, F1 through F whatever, over the items, and then you could tap those on the keyboard and really quickly switch between the different skills. So like the Sorceress, I always had teleport on F4, so anytime I wanted to teleport away, I'll just hit F4, right click, and then go back to my skill that I wanted to use. And it's going to be very different because you're not quickly switching, so it's going to require a little bit more planning, I think at least. So we got this rapid fire skill now. Then that uses the hatred, so I can rebuild that by just firing off a lot more bullets.
so this is like a twin stick shooter kind of.
Yeah, I guess that's one way to look at it. What's this? Oh yeah, the caltrop.
Just that rapid fire reminded me of like
Oh,
a new
Geometry
gun for
Wars or
your
something?
ship.
Yeah. Oh shit. So what I did there is I dropped the caltrop, which slows enemies that walk through it down a lot, and then I just unloaded on them. And this default ability, the Hungering Arrow, it's a magic arrow, so it kind of tracks people down. Ooh, they got this guy too. This is new. I'm surprised that I saw him. He's like a special unit that just drops a shitload of treasure if you kill him. So hopefully I can kill him. Hey, there we go. And a lot of gold. So, so I was talking a little bit earlier about magic find and stuff like that, and you know, that, as you saw before, is in the game. People will be stacking as many items as they can to get the absolute highest percentage chance to find better items. But then there's also items, like there were in Diablo 2, that give you more gold. So like, let's say someone drops 10 gold, there will be items that give you like a 15% boost to any gold. So at the higher levels, that can really add up quickly and make it, you know, an alternative to just having tons of magic find stuff. Whoa. But there's also items that give you plus additional experience for every kill. So when I was playing through and maxing out all the characters as quickly as I could in the beta, I stacked as many items as I could that gave me additional experience for every kill. So I leveled up much, much quicker than I would have if Hey, the artisan's there. Than if I wasn't using all that stuff. Oh, but I can't have them craft yet.
When the skill brave.
Yeah. Oh well. So what are some questions that you have? What should I be talking about? What's not making sense?
Well, you're blazing through this, so I'm assuming you know exactly what to do.
I know exactly what to do for these quests.
So you'd have to be paying attention a little bit more.
Yeah, you'd have to be listening a little bit more. And, you know, so I've played through these opening quests quite a few times already. So I have a general idea of where to go. Like this quest that I'm on right now, there are 3 of these tombs in this cemetery, and one of the 3 is going to be the correct way to go. So I'm just hoping that I get lucky and find the right one right now. But in one of those 3 tombs, there's also a bonus kind of side quest that can get you some good items and extra experience and stuff. So you may have noticed I was targeting that one like really large skeleton there that was kind of glowing. He was like the summoner skeleton. So you have to take him out first, or else he's just going to keep summoning smaller skeletons that don't really give you any experience or any items or anything like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Is there like a quest log?
Yes. It's quite a bit different than it was in Diablo 2. Wow, these guys are just crawling out of that hole. Holy shit.
And is it like Skyrim, where you can just like do things whenever?
No, it's not a big open world like like Skyrim is. So let's look at the log. So I can go to the quests, and I'm on the Shattered Crown quest, which is like one of I don't know. I think it's one of 4 quests that's in the demo, and I think it's one of 12 that's in Act 1 in the full game. But that can obviously change, and it's much more linear than most RPGs in terms of what quest you have to do next. It's more like, okay, you have this next objective, but along the way, there's a ton of different things, like, little caverns and shit that you can find that,
That's my luck. The crown isn't even in this crypt.
to kind of distract you, and like, side quests that you can find along the way that you do right then. But, that's just what I've seen in Act 1 of this. So that was the wrong crypt, and at the very end of that, there was that little thing that I was teleporting through. That's new to this. It's an instant teleportal out of the mini dungeon. Oh, so there's also one small change that makes a big difference that I really like in this game. There's no books of town portal or books of item identification. If you find an item that needs to be identified, you just right click it, and then in a couple seconds it'll automatically identify it. It used to be that you had to spend a very, very small amount of gold on identifying an item, and the town portals work I haven't unlocked them yet, but I think at the end of this quest actually I unlocked them. Oh shit. And you can just use them at any time, and it takes a couple seconds to channel, and then you, as long as you don't get hit, you can't, or you just go back to the town, the closest town, without dying. But one of the interesting things that they've added in this too, to kind of prevent you, like, let's say I was really close to dying, I'd already used my minor health potion, and I knew I was going to die. I tried to hit, in the previous game you just hit escape and then leave the game really quickly, but this gives me a 10-second countdown, so I can't just cheat out of it really quickly. So, stuff like that. And the same thing with the town portal. You can't just hit it and then teleport home really quickly. It takes a couple seconds to channel, so if you know you're about to die, you can't just
Get out.
Kind of cheese your way out of it. Yeah, exactly.
So are there any I don't know how you'd say it, like breadcrumb trails in this game? Like I see on your minimap there's nothing, there's no objective markers, and on your map there's nothing pointing at where to go?
Yes, there are some. At some points, there will be objective markers that tell you, okay, you have to go talk to this person. When I was out in the kind of the more open world area, there was a dirt path that you can follow that makes it a little bit easier to know where to go. And that's about it. So like right now, I know that I have to explore these 3 different caverns. And so, you know, it kind of pays off to pay a little bit of attention to the story because, you know, they said in the story, he's in, or what you need is in one of these tombs. And it says right there, search the Chancellor's altar beneath the cemetery of the Forsaken. So, you know, you have to kind of pay attention a little bit to what it's telling you to do through the story to know, you know, to not get insanely frustrated that you're not finding the next objective, you know? But,
So, is there any... Do you hit those walls in Diablo games where you're like, I have no idea what to do or where to go?
So, yes, I can see that happening. There in Act 3 in Diablo 2, your first time through, if you weren't really paying attention, you could easily get lost and just get frustrated beyond imagination.
Okay.
Hey, this is the right one. But more than likely, it's not awful the way that it is in some games, you know? I'm trying to think of a good example in a game where you just have no idea what to do next.
Sometimes in games, you know where the road is leading you, but you don't know how to keep going. Like, that happened to me sometimes in Resident Evil games or, like, Zelda. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I pretty much know where I'm supposed to be going.
There's
something that I'm missing.
There's no crazy Zelda moments. Yes, exactly like Zelda when you were that dog and you had to go somewhere, but you didn't see this one tiny little thing. They do a much
to sniff this one certain dog's butt.
Exactly. They don't have that crazy of a
quests or puzzles.
Of puzzles.
Oh, does this game have any puzzles?
Not really. This finding the right tomb is about as much of a puzzle. I mean, again, it's only the beta, but there weren't in Diablo 2.
Okay.
Oh shit. There's a lot of dudes here.
So enemy variety looks pretty good.
And and the way it worked in Diablo 2, oh shit, there's a lot of guys here. Was that the enemies, you know, through each difficulty, through the 4 acts, there was, you know, dramatically different enemies in the different acts. And when you got to higher difficulties, normal, hard, or normal, nightmare, and hell, the enemies would be stronger, do more damage, and frequently gain new attacks and develop resistances to some special attacks. Like an enemy will be resistant to lightning damage. So if you were a lightning sorceress, you couldn't do a goddamn thing to enemies that have 100% lightning resistance. You're just boned. There's nothing you can do. Yeah. But I have a feeling that once you get to the hardest difficulty, it's just going to be lather, rinse, repeat the same boss over and over the way it was in Diablo 2 just to find the best items. But I could be very wrong about that. They've done a lot of things to remove the kind of boring stuff from this game. So I have a feeling that they're going to look at that end game and make that much more interesting, even though the game's not shipping with player versus player. So I could be completely wrong about that, but we'll see. Like, there's no...
How important... Did they have that in Diablo 2?
Oh yeah, that was one
important?
of my favorite things. That's the reason to get better items.
Oh,
I mean,
when you fight people.
Right, to kill other people better. That's one of the most important things in the game. Alright, now we can show off the crafting a little bit.
It's good to work again. There. New as the day it was placed upon the Black King's head.
Alright.
I need something.
So he just made something for
Yeah.
us?
Yep. The Black King's crown.
Oh, now he's got a whole store.
Yep.
My dearest hate.
So he can craft, and you can spend this money to train new stuff that he can craft. So you can forge weapons, a new bow, which I'm going to do actually. Oh, I'm not going to have enough materials to do it. You can do weapons, armor, and then he can also salvage items. So any of these magic items that I don't want to sell just for the gold, I can salvage for the materials needed to craft that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what I need. Ooh, that's a good bow. So this was a common item, a common attribute that you wanted to have in Diablo 2 was convert damage dealt to life. So basically it's health leech.
I love that.
Yeah, it's important. right. Like, and that's very important for like the barbarians and they're not paladins in this game. The monk, the people that are on the front line, taking the brunt of the damage. They need to be able to heal themselves constantly.
Like in Taro Tassadar.
What?
I'm referencing StarCraft 2 Dota, whatever that was called.
Oh, yeah.
What was that called?
Sodus,
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to salvage some of this stuff.
Kind of miss that game sometimes. Did Diablo ever have any mods? Is this a game that has mods?
No, not at all. Well, there was lots of hacks. Like so there was like map hacks that would show the entire map to you just at the press of a button.
Yeah.
And there were those grabbers that would automatically grab the really good items. And like if you were a sorceress, you could program the thing to say, okay, I have teleport set to F4. If there is a unique ring on the ground, teleport me to it and pick it up as quickly as humanly possible.
Mm.
And like sometimes the screen will just go fucking nuts because the program's taking over for you. Like you're doing something and then blah, it just like teleports you far away and you're like, oh fuck.
Because this is coming from StarCraft, where the custom games is a huge part of StarCraft.
Yeah, there's no mods in this game at all. Let's put the pants on.
You haven't had pants this entire time?
Nope. I'm a nude, dude. I'm never nude. So yeah, for every item that you salvage, you'll usually just get one. And like, I read into this a little bit. Depending on what difficulty level you're playing on, the item that drops will determine, or the items that drop on the difficulty determine what crafting materials you get.
Okay.
So if you're on normal, you get this basic stuff. If you're on nightmare, you get something a little bit better. So it kind of scales.
Oh, like you think you get better stuff on easy, just to make the game easier?
That's not how difficulties work in this.
Oh,
have I not? I guess I haven't explained that at all.
No.
So there's 4 acts in this game.
Uh-huh.
After you complete all 4 acts, you unlock, on normal difficulty, you unlock nightmare difficulty.
It's a new game plus. Or is that...
Well, no, because you take the same character that's at level 30 or whatever, and you start back at Act 1, but all the enemies are more difficult.
That sounds like New Game Plus.
Yeah, kind of. Except, yes, it's a New Game Plus. And then you go through Nightmare all the way through to unlock Hell, and then you go through all the way through Hell to unlock, I forget, there's a 4th one in this that's new.
Something worse than Hell.
Something worse than Hell. Yeah, Heaven difficulty. I don't fucking know. But you can train these artisans. You spend $2,000, and I think it takes 5. You have to train him 5 times to go up to level 4, and then it gets more expensive every time. And every time you train him, you learn a couple new things that he can build. So yeah, I can't build a new crossbow yet. So yeah, here's the interesting thing about crafting is you can see, it says 2 random magic properties. So what's going to happen is at the highest levels, it's going to say, 5 random magic properties. And those random magic properties, it's going to say, okay, so like you can see my vampiric shortbow. It says 1% of damage dealt is converted to life. At the highest levels, it's going to have a range of what that percent could be. It could be between, let's say, 5 and 10. And because it's random, the most valuable ones are going to be the ones that say the max on that scale. And just and what the random magic properties are going to be very important too. So you're going to end up spending a lot of money crafting garbage just to get that one really good random thing.
Yeah.
So
'cause you never know what you're gonna get.
You never know what you're gonna get.
Diablo 3 is like a box of chocolates.
Yes, exactly. And there's 2 artisans in the game, but only one in the beta. There's only this crafting guy in the beta, and then to go up. I was talking about the gems before. You're gonna have to use a different artisan to go up a level in the different gems.
Okay, I'm just gonna have to say yes.
Yes, just yes and. Yes and. There you go, you're learning. So this little final sequence that I'm about to do right now, I've done hundreds of times, because anybody that's played Diablo knows there's a lot of like boss grinding when you get to the higher difficulties. Because the bosses give good experience and they give good item drops. So to max out all my characters, I played through this, final checkpoint and restarted it over and over quite a few times to max out all the dudes, if that makes any sense at all.
So you can restart and keep all the stuff that you previously earned.
Yeah. Yep. So in Diablo 2, oh shit, there's a lot of dudes here. There's quite a few quests that you can only really do once and get the bonuses from doing them once. And, oh, Jesus. But in this, you can repeat them over and over and over again. And you get, like, you probably saw earlier when I was completing some of the quests, they had those little pop-up windows that said, okay, you completed this quest, you get this experience bonus, and you get this gold bonus. You can do those over and over, depending on what level you are. They lock you out from some of them after you surpass a certain level. Yeah. Which makes sense because you wouldn't want to keep doing the ones that are, providing very little experience when you're at a much higher level. Because, like any game, it has that level scaling where it takes more and more experience to level up all the time.
So is this the end of the beta?
Well, I'm getting there. I got a ways to go, but I'm on my way. My character's so fucking weak right now compared to like my maxed out level 13 guys with really good weapons that I bought off the auction house, that it's taken forever to get through some of these parts. Like normally I'd just be like rolling over all of these dudes. Like it wouldn't even be a challenge at this point. But my guy is only what, level 7 right now, something like that. I'm gonna stick with rapid fire.
Maybe I'm wrong. Did I hear rumors that this is possibly going to be a console game?
Yeah, it seemed like, well, there's nothing confirmed yet, but Blizzard was hiring people for console development a while ago. Like when they were kind of starting to make a bunch of announcements about Diablo.
Okay.
So it could, like, Diablo is a game that could easily port to consoles. Now the only problem is Microsoft's business model does not allow people to spend money in a microtransaction format the way that this game is going to do. So if they want like a full-featured game,
they just make their own console.
Just make their own console. Yeah, put it on the Valve console. That seems much more realistic possibility than Microsoft updating, microtransactions to their shitty console. If you really got into this game, what would you prefer to play it on? Like, would you rather sit in front of the couch?
Absolutely a PC. Just like the whole auction thing you're talking about. I just feel like I want a mouse and keyboard to just like go through menus faster.
Like you said, this is pretty close to a twin stick shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Like they could
For the combat, yeah. I just mean for like, I don't know what the auction house looks like at all.
Yeah.
I'm just assuming that there's lots of that I'd want a keyboard and mouse to go through it.
Mm-hmm. No, that makes sense. I agree with you there, but I think that they could pull off a pretty reasonable adaptation.
All the
of this
gameplay
game.
that I've seen, easily.
Yeah, like switching between skills is the only thing that I think would come up a lot. That would be kind of a pain in the ass. Like for switching through menus. Well, and I guess there's 2 left trigger, right trigger. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's plenty of room on the controller to do all the different functions that you would need to quickly access. But like switching and stuff, that's always where it becomes like a kind of a pain in the butt, And this game is relatively lo-fi in terms of graphics.
Yeah, it doesn't look any.
It would definitely.
It doesn't look like it necessarily came out in 2012.
No, they definitely could scale it. I mean, they could port it to the console without losing a lot of fidelity.
And I think from this, I guess viewpoint you call it.
Ooh, a new bow, hell yeah!
Like the distance you are from your character. Like super good graphics wouldn't make this game any better.
Yeah, and you can't really zoom in. Or there is a zoom in button.
Like in StarCraft 2 doesn't look that much. I mean, it looks a lot better than StarCraft 1, but basically, even if you kept the graphics from StarCraft 1, it would be an excellent game.
You can zoom in if you want to kind of like look at your character and see how different items that you equip. Let's see. Affect how they look. But that's about it. Oh, one interesting thing too they've added is if you're in a multiplayer game, you can right-click on the other user's name and like view their profile and view their what items they're wearing and stuff like that. You just click inspect and you can see exactly what kind of stuff that they're using. Whereas in the previous game, you had to like go into a trade window and then they would like put all their items in the trade window, which was a pain in the ass, and then look at the quality of the person you're about to fight in PvP, piece by piece. Yeah, there's a lot of things that they've added to this game, like small tweaks. I'm just gonna run past this shit because I don't. Ooh, nope. Running past shit in hardcore. I can't believe I just said that. That's not smart. I'm probably gonna die right now. Fuck. Oh, let's see what happens. Fortunately, these guys aren't too fast.
And you said you did
And it's relatively easy on
a lot of PvP in Diablo 2. How much of that was how good your character was, and how much of that is your skill as a gamer?
Some of it is skill. A lot of it is the items that your character
So
has.
it's almost like Pokemon, where you just put your guy in, and based on his stats, he's gonna do how he's gonna do.
Yeah, there's not a lot of chess involved. There's not a lot of strategy. It's more like before the thing even starts, if you were good, you could probably it'd be very easy for Vegas odds makers to determine like what the probability of each person winning was.
It's like each person whips out their schlong and you see whose is longer.
Yeah, exactly. Mine's longer because I've spent hundreds of dollars of real money on the store. Something just crossed my mind, like, because I do want to, because I am going to play the hell out of this game. I'm wondering, like, would it be wise to spend money early on just to quickly get the items that increase my percentage to find more magic items?
And then start selling crap?
And then start selling stuff right away, Like the magic find items, the value of those is going to be much higher earlier on, probably, for that exact reason. Yes. Oh yeah, so they have this too. You have companions that you can equip with items, and they get skills and stuff as well.
Do they stay with you very long?
Yeah, they stay with you through the whole game. They level up, and there's a couple different ones you can choose. Like,
They die?
They die, but then you can revive them.
Okay.
So let's see. I want something to... Yeah, I want the taunt. Let's see if I can give him a new... So he can use more damage. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the companion thing seems very similar to what it was in Diablo 2 for how they assist you in the game. You lose them when you go into a multiplayer game, though. So if you're just playing by yourself, you'll have them throughout the entire game. But as soon as you as soon as you start playing with other people, you're kind of on your own. But you obviously have more people with you. Holy shit, these guys are hard to kill. And they keep scaring me away.
Yep. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, so they have these health orbs too, which is a new feature. You just walk over them and it's like an instant health potion.
So on hardcore, if you would have just died there, you start from the beginning of the game?
Character's gone. Character is gone.
So beating it hardcore on your 4th New Game Plus.
Yeah, on the hardest difficulty. That will be one. That's going to be the hardest to get achievement in the game, guaranteed. And like max level character on hardcore is going to be like, you know, one of those super insanely prestigious achievements. Oh, so the way you can really customize your character in this game is everybody has a banner, and the pattern on the banner and the colors and all that kind of stuff, you can customize those out of the game, and you unlock different patterns and stuff by getting different achievements. So that's one of the kind of I don't know, what would you call that, like character customization things that they have in this game that they didn't in previous games, which is kind of interesting.
There's a lot of dudes.
Yep, I'm backing up and running. And because those arrows are magic, they just kind of auto-target at people. I don't even have to aim. Yeah, and they have those like kind of mini achievements that pop up. It said killed however many it was, 10 enemies in a row, kind of like a killing spree kind of thing. You get a little bit of bonus experience and stuff like that. Small additions.
Yeah,
in the game
just
that,
nice things. That
yeah, a lot of really nice things.
The
like
gaming
Blizzard knows how to make a
community
fucking game.
has introduced since the release of the last game.
Exactly. Yep. All right. Now the thing is, like, this little area down here. I've ran through this last part enough that even though this whole map right now is randomly generated, I've recognized this little pattern and know that that is not the correct direction to go. So this game still has randomly generated dungeons. They're in much more specific area, or no, it's pretty similar to the way it was in the other games. Like, you know, the boss level of a dungeon will be the same exact layout every single time. The level before the boss may be unique in how you have to find the boss, and you have to do a little bit of exploring to actually get to him. If that makes any sense at all.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like where this is going. Like, I really wish I had a crowd control ability right now, but my guy is such a low level that I got no, like, explosives or anything like that.
Yeah. Grenades.
Yeah, grenade. This guy has a grenade power later on, but way past the level unlock that is available in the beta.
I am renewed.
Here we go. So here's the little breadcrumb. If you get completely lost, that little blinking yellow thing right there, that's the next level, which is another really small, nice little thing that they've added to this game that, you know, you could easily walk around in circles for hours. You know, you think you explored that, and then you're like, oh shit, I gotta walk to the complete other side of the dungeon because I didn't see that one little offshoot, and you gotta go all the way back, and then, but they, you know, have that just extra small little thing, so if you're paying attention, you'll notice right away that, oh, I'm close. I don't have to keep exploring if I don't want to. But obviously, on hardcore, I'm kind of rushing through this. It's probably not the smartest way to do it. I may die versus the final boss.
It's not a walkthrough.
But yeah, this isn't a walkthrough. Oh shit, this part's gonna be tough. And you know, grinding is a very common thing in this game. You know, and it's fun to explore it. Like I really enjoy, like my first couple times through with the different classes, I explored every single corner and really enjoyed it. I mean, that's what's a lot of fun in Diablo 2. Like you can just mainline it and oh Jesus Christ. So I gotta kill those little towers there because they're regenerating those enemies. Oh shit. Oh Christ. Alright. So just backing up might not be the smartest strategy. Because I need to kill the things that are creating more dudes. Woo! I can just run past all this shit too. Oh, I did not want to shoot that door yet. Come on, get the fuck out of the way. So with arrows and stuff, like, you know, I can click one guy in the back of the pack, but that doesn't mean I'm going to shoot him. They have, like...
They'll hit whatever's
yeah,
there.
they'll hit things in the way. It's not, you know, it's not a magic bullet, JFK style. It has to actually go through. Oh my god. There's a ton of dudes there. And, because I'm playing hardcore right now, I can't give any of my items to... any of the items that I found with my other characters to this hardcore character. He's completely independent. I would imagine, or it has to be that the auction house for hardcore is completely separate from the auction house for normal core.
Softcore?
Softcore, yeah, because, yeah, that's much more appropriate. So the hardcore store, like the super rare to find item, like if you find the best item or the best set of weapons in the game,
be a lot more valuable.
Be a lot more valuable. Yeah, because if you're like a top level dude and you get a little lag spike and then oh fuck you're dead, well you're shit out of luck. Like there's no recovering your character. You can't. Oh dude, that'd be so fucking insane if Blizzard charged money to revive a hardcore character. They could do that, and people would pay a lot of money for that. Like, it scales, it's like $1 for every level your character is. Level 80, it's $80 to revive your dude. I guarantee I would pay for that.
You will never defeat me.
This is the final guy?
Yep, this is the final boss of the beta. And I'm only level, I think, 6, which is insanely low. Yep, I'm level 6. I'm probably gonna die, but... no turn back now, right?
That's right.
Oh no, the door locked. What I should do, what I'm going to do is I'm going to teleport back home, see if maybe I can upgrade my weapon a little bit, make this boss fight a little bit easier.
That would not be wise.
Oh, I can't use the fucking town portal right now. Fuck. Well, here goes nothing. Alright, wish me luck. And I'll be making videos kind of showing off the skills of all the different classes and stuff to give you guys a better idea of what the different classes bring to the table at a little bit higher level than only level 6 right now.
It's Shao Kahn.
Yep. So hopefully he stays focused on my companion and not me.
Not enough hatred.
Not enough hatred. I love that. I'm full of hatred, therefore he's definitely the class for me, right?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, he teleports. Forgot about that. And then he summons... Now, like any good boss, he summons characters
That give you health?
that they can drop health potions. Oh shit, if I don't... Oh, my Templar's dead. I don't know how to revive him. Oh, he just revived on his own! Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah, there's no fucking way I'm living through this. Because there's such a long cooldown for these potions, there's a really good chance that he's just going to teleport to me and rock my world in a second. I just gotta keep running away from him. Hopefully I'll get lucky.
Here's some health.
Oh yeah. And the nice thing about health potions too, that is gonna make hardcore much better for playing with a lot of people, is that if anybody on your team picks up a health potion, it heals the whole team.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, it is very nice. Oops. So I was like threading the needle right there, trying to get the arrows through to get to him. Ah, shit. Oh, fuck. And you can see like the health bar and the numbers directly on top of his head.
Yeah.
That I had to turn on in the menu. Otherwise, the bar at the top of the screen is the only thing that you would see. And the damage numbers that I'm doing to all these people.
30.
Yeah, like 8, 10, 9. I think if it turns yellow, that means it's a critical hit, which is like a 5% chance of happening or something like that. And it does double damage or who knows how much. Health potion. Yes. You're gonna die, asshole. Oh, fuck. Go, shit. Alright. Getting there. Almost there. Alright, I used the health potion. Oh, stay out of the way, you stupid fucking minions.
Oh, wow.
Yep, this is not looking good.
It was looking okay for a minute.
Oh, fuck me. This is the final push right here. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus Christ. What's going to come first?
Get that health potion.
Oh, God, get there. Yes.
Get that one.
Oh, man. Those take a while to regenerate, too. It's not like they're instant.
Oh, now you got your health regeneration.
And I got my potion back, too. Die, fucker. Yes. Woo! See, like, look how much treasure boss drops. You know?
Yeah.
That's why you end up killing bosses over and over and over again. You kind of like learn.
Woo!
You defeated the Diablo 3 beta. I have no idea how many fucking times I saw that through this, because I killed him probably a couple hundred times in the beta. Nah, probably not a couple hundred. Maybe 100, but. So, you saw I got one yellow item. That's a rare item. And instead of taking it to Deckard Cain to identify, you can just do that. So, yeah, that's a really good belt compared to the one I have. You can see, like more damage or more armor, more everything.
Experience.
Yeah, more experience. Ooh, a new bow that does a lot of damage. A lot of good shit.
Well, I've learned that I should not ever touch this game
What?
unless I'm willing to donate thousands of hours of my life.
Yeah, and have fun with an awesome game.
Yeah, it looks so good.
All right, is that sarcasm?
No, it's the same. No, not at all. I don't want to play it because I don't want to become addicted.
So, I guess just one more thing to point out, like, you'll constantly be unlocking new skills with every level. Like, I just swapped out the caltrops, which I didn't like very much, for the smoke screen, which makes me invisible and increases my movement speed, which would have been helpful against that boss when I was like had to run away. Just pop that, and that uses the discipline that regenerates fairly quickly. So I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I'll be making a lot more videos on this beta, just talking about some more intricate details that I just kind of glossed over in this, even though I went through a lot of details already in this. And yeah, definitely looking forward to the full game of this coming out. I'll be playing the shit out of it, so I'll be looking forward to a lot of guides for this game.
Cool.
All right, game on.
Game on.